Next question. The following table shows the interest rates and exchange rates for the United States dollar and French franc. The spot rate is 7.05 French franc per dollar. Complete the missing entries. So column number 1 is the particulars. In that, so the euro dollar rate of interest. Highlight the portion annually compounded. In simple language, it is the dollar currency rate of interest. Next is the French franc rate of interest. Again, it is annually compounded. So the dollar currency rate of interest is 11.5 percentage. French franc rate of interest is 19.5 percentage. Forward exchange rate for French franc per dollar is required to be calculated for a time period of 3 months. And forward a discount on the French franc is provided to us. That is required to be found for 3 months. Something like this, 6 months and 1 year information is given, and we are required to find the complete, that is say the missing entries. So first of all, focusing on the particulars and the 3 months column. I want you to write in the chat box that say what is the forward exchange rate for French franc per dollar for a time period of 3 months. Be careful that the question is providing the information that the rate of interest is on annually compounded basis. Please write your answer in the chat box for 3 months forward exchange rate for French franc per dollar. So write down answer, heading write down 3 months time period. In that write down working note number 1, calculation of 3 months forward exchange rate. Now friends, for the purpose of calculation of this forward exchange rate, if at all you think of applying spot plus interest on left hand side currency upon 1 plus interest on right hand side currency, that is 7.05 plus 7.05 into the rate of interest of the French franc is 19.5 percentage into 3 divided by 12 whole divided by 1 plus 1 into rate of interest is 11.5 percentage into 3 divided by 12, like this. Then this is wrong formula. Why? Because friends, we understand that if at all the annually compounded rate of interest is 19.5 percentage, then the 3 months rate of interest is not 19.5 into 3 that is 3 divided by 12. If at all we take this kind of working, then basically what happens at the effective rate of interest will be more. That is what's the kind of mistake that we will incur. So it is 19.5 into 3 divided by 12. It comes to 4.875 plus 1. So into 2, 3, 4. You can see that the effective rate of interest is 20.97 percentage. That is wrong. That is the reason, say what we have to do friends, in this question where the rate of interest is given to us on annually compounded basis, instead of working like this, we are required to work out the answer in a different way. That is, forward is equal to spot into 1 plus rate of interest for left hand side currency whole raised to n divided by 12 divided by 1 plus rate of interest for right hand side currency whole raised to again n divided by 12. That is what we have to do. So what is spot exchange rate? Spot exchange rate is 7.05. That is the spot exchange rate into 1.1950 raised to 3 divided by 12 whole divided by, it is 11.5 percentage. That is dollar currency rate of interest. 1.1150 raised to 3 divided by 12. That is the way the forward exchange rate is supposed to be found. So over here 1.1150 under root for twice. This becomes the denominator. 1.195 under root for twice. So this is going to be multiplied with 7.05 divided by the denominator, and with that we are required to make the computation of the forward exchange rate. So 1.1150 under root for twice. I keep that in memory plus 1.195 under root for 2 times into 7.05 divided by memory recall. It is 7.1732 French franc per dollar. This is the way the forward exchange rate for a time period of 3 months will be calculated. So over here, once we have made the computation of the forward exchange rate, now we understand that say we are required to compute the forward premium or forward discount. That is what say we are required to make the calculation of answer. Now the next question is very simple. In case of 3 months, the question says that say you are required to compute the forward premium or discount for the French franc currency. That is a question. So write down answer. Calculation of premium slash discount for French franc currency. In that, spot minus forward upon forward into 12 divided by n into 100. The spot exchange rate is 7.05. Forward exchange rate is 7.1732. Divided by, again forward exchange rate is 7.1732 into 12 divided by 3, that is the time period, into 100 for getting answer in percentage term. It comes to negative 6.87 percentage. As it is negative answer, so it is discount. So the French franc currency is at discount of 6.87 percentage. This is the way we have done the working for 3 months. Now let us see the next column, 6 months. In 6 months, there are 2 questions which are required to be found. French franc rate of interest and forward exchange rate for French franc per dollar. That is a question. I want you to write in the chat box, say whatever the answer that you compute first, you put that in the chat box. Now friends, in case of 6 months, calculation of the rate of interest of the French franc currency is not possible, because for that say again we have to use the formula forward is equal to spot into 1 plus rate of interest for left hand side currency raised to n divided by 12 divided by 1 plus rate of interest for right hand side currency raised to n by 12. Do we have spot? Yes. Do we have the rate of interest for dollar currency? Yes. However, we do not have the forward exchange rate, so we cannot make the computation of the rate of interest for French franc currency. Okay. So now we understand that say we can start with the forward exchange rate calculation for French franc per dollar for a time period of 6 months. With that say we can start the calculation of answer, and to compute the same we can use the information about the discount which is given for the French franc currency. Chalo, heading right down 6 months. In that, write down working note number 1, calculation of forward exchange rate for French franc per dollar. That is what we are required to compute. In that, so the premium slash discount is equal to spot minus forward upon forward into 12 divided by n into 100. Dear students, over here we understand that say we have been provided with the premium slash discount say for the French franc currency. That is what we understand technically price currency. So we are required to use the formula spot minus forward upon forward. It is negative 6.30%, that is the discount. So negative 6.30, spot is 7.05, forward we do not know, divided by forward again we do not know, into 12 divided by 6, that is the time period, into 100. Let us see that say how to compute the forward now. Keeping 7.05 minus forward upon forward on one side, remaining values are transferred on the other hand. So in that case, what will happen? Negative 6.30 into 6 divided by 12 into 1 divided by 100. So 6.30 negative into 6 divided by 12 divided by 100. 0.0315 negative. So 7.05 minus forward is equal to minus 0.0315 forward. Now this forward is transferred on the right hand side and it will become positive. So 7.05 is equal to forward minus 0.0315 forward. Difference of both of them is 0.9685. So forward exchange rate is 7.05 upon 0.9685. So the final answer is 7.2793. French franc per dollar. That is the way we are required to make the computation of the forward exchange rate. Now after this we'll compute the rate of interest. That is calculation of French franc rate of interest. Let us see that's how to calculate it. Forward is equal to spot into 1 plus rate of interest for left hand side currency raised to n by 12 whole divided by 1 plus rate of interest for right hand side currency again raised to n by 12. That is the way we can compute the French franc rate of interest. What is the forward exchange rate? 7.2793. is equal to spot exchange rate 7.05. Now the left hand side currency is like the French franc currency and rate of interest for that currency is required to be found. So I am assigning x variable to it. So 1 plus x raised to 6 divided by 12 whole divided by the rate of interest for dollar currency is 12.25%. You can see it is 12 1 by 4. So it is 12.25%. So 1.1225 again raised to 6 by 12. Now x will be found as balancing figure. So now calculation of rate of interest for, sorry, I just have to simplify the equation. So I keep it over here. 1 plus x raised to 6 by 12 is 1 by 2 is equal to 7.2793 into 1.1225 raised to 1 by 2 divided by 7.05. That is the way we can compute the answer. Since it is 1 raised to 1 by 2, so it can be transferred on the opposite side and it can be whole raised to 2. This is what we can do. So x will be found as balancing figure. In that, we'll make the calculation like this. 1.1225 raised to 1 by 2. 1.1225 raised to 1 by 2. So we get the right hand side element into 7.05. I'm sorry, into 7.2793. 7.2793 divided by 7.05. 7.05. Now whatever this answer that we get, it is whole raised to 2. So you have to do into is equal to. So it comes to 1.1967. 1.1967 minus 1. So 0.1967, that is 19.67%. This is the way we are required to calculate the answer. So this is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. Now calculations are required to be performed for 1 year. Again, please put your answers in the chat box. For like 1 year, there are again two things which are required to be found. For the dollar currency rate of interest and the premium or discount for French franc currency. Now for 1 year, calculation is very simple. The question says that you are required to find the rate of interest. The forward exchange rate is already provided to us. So for 1 year, we are required to compute the answer like this. Forward is equal to spot into 1 plus rate of interest for left hand side currency raised to n by 12 whole divided by 1 plus rate of interest for right hand side currency raised to n by 12 once again. The forward exchange rate is given to us as 7.52. Spot is 7.05. The rate of interest for French franc is 20%, and the rate of interest for dollar currency is required to be found as balancing figure. So it is 1 plus rate of interest for dollar currency. Raised to n by 12 does not make a sense over here because 12 will be cancelled against one another. 1 plus rate of interest for dollar currency is equal to 7.05 into 1.20 divided by 7.52. So the rate of interest for dollar currency is equal to 7.05 into 1.2 upon 7.52. That comes to 1.125. So 0.1250, that is 12.50%. Now instead of making the calculation of the rate of interest, you could have done the forward premium or discount for the French franc currency, because we have the sufficient information so that you can do answer for either of the question. So premium slash discount for French franc currency. In that, spot minus forward upon forward into 12 divided by n into 100. That is the way we are supposed to find answer. Spot is 7.05 minus forward is 7.52 upon 7.52 into 12 divided by 12 into 100. That is the way we can do answer. 7.05 minus 7.52 upon 7.52 into 100. It comes to negative 6.25%, and that is what we understand as a discount. This is what we understand. So a small summary of the entire answer. This question is very important in a way that say there was a new information provided to us regarding the annually compounded rate of interest. We have been provided with the information for 3 months, for 6 months and for 1 year. Calculation for 1 year is not going to be very difficult, and it is say very simple. For 3 months and 6 months, calculations are very important. Whenever we are computing the forward exchange rate, or whenever you are using this forward exchange rate formula, then we have to understand the per annum annually compounded rate of interest is given to us. So for 3 months or for 6 months, the rate of interest will be calculated as 1 plus per annum rate of interest raised to n divided by 12. That is the way it is supposed to be calculated. For premium or discount, we are required to apply the simple formula, say spot minus forward upon forward. Since we are required to compute the premium or discount, say for like the price currency or for base currency. Say for the left hand side currency. In case of the 6 months forward exchange rate calculation, number of times I have observed that the students tend to commit a mistake. Let's say they ignore this negative 6.3. They take it positive 6.3 and they do answer. So just be careful for this small point. And another, say it is raised to 2. So whatever the answer that you get, it is into is equal to, that is the way you are required to make the computation of 1.1967. You do not have to do into 2. So just be careful for that. 1 year calculation is extremely simple, and so this is the way we have done answer.